The town of Black Hollow had always been known for its harsh winters, but this December was unlike anything the townspeople had ever experienced. It wasn't just the cold, it was the way it arrived. The first sign was the mist, rolling in thick and unnatural, covering the streets like a burial shroud. Then came the silence. The usual sounds of winter, howling winds, crunching snow, were swallowed by an eerie stillness. And then the disappearances began. It started small. A man named Jacob Miller went out to chop wood for his fireplace and never returned. His wife found the axe lodged in the tree, the woodpile undisturbed, and the snow showing only his footprints leading into the mist. No sign of him ever leaving. By the time the town held a meeting, 6 more people had vanished, their last moments eerily similar. Always alone, always stepping into the fog. The sheriff, Tom Everett, tried to keep order, but there was something else in his eyes, something he wasn't saying. 2 nights before Christmas Eve, the first body was found. Sarah Whitmore, a schoolteacher, was discovered frozen solid on her front porch, her skin blue, her eyes wide in terror. The doctor, old Doc Campbell, examined her and found something horrifying. She wasn't just frozen, he told the sheriff in a hushed voice. It's like the cold got inside her. Her organs were ice, her veins crystallized. It wasn't hypothermia, it was something much worse. Panic set in. People barricaded themselves indoors, lighting every fireplace, burning anything that could keep the heat going. But the cold kept creeping in. Houses felt unnaturally chilled. Fires did little to fight it off. Some swore they saw shadows moving in the mist, tall, thin figures with hollow eyes and mouths that gaped too wide. Then the whispering started. It began with the children. They would wake in the middle of the night, shaking, crying. "It's calling me," little Ethan Lawson told his mother, eyes wide with fear. "It wants me to come outside." Parents found their children sleepwalking toward doors, hands grasping at frozen doorknobs. They had to barricade their homes to keep them inside. But the voices didn't stop. Soon adults heard them too. A soft, whispering sound drifting through the snow, inviting them out into the cold. Sheriff Everett decided enough was enough. Armed with rifles and lanterns, he and a small group of men went into the fog to find whatever was hunting their town. They never returned. By Christmas Eve, Black Hollow was on the verge of collapse. People were too terrified to sleep, too afraid to step outside. But the cold didn't need them to come willingly anymore. It began seeping in through cracks, curling under doors, waiting. And then, on Christmas morning, the massacre began. The McAllister family was the first to die. Neighbors heard their screams, but could do nothing. When someone finally braved the frost to check on them, they found the entire family frozen in place, their faces twisted in horror, their bodies brittle as ice sculptures. One by one, the town's residents succumbed. Some were found standing in their homes, frozen solid, hands raised in silent pleas. Others were found outside, as if they had walked willingly into the frost's embrace. And then, the town was silent. Days later, a search party from a neighboring town arrived. They found Black Hollow deserted, buried in snow. The houses were intact, the fires still smoldering in hearths, but there was no sign of life. Only footprints in the snow leading into the mist. Footprints that never returned. Some say the town was cursed. Others believe something ancient and hungry woke that December and took what it wanted. And on cold December nights, when the mist rolls in thick and the air turns deathly silent, travelers swear they can still hear the whispering.